Alright, go live. Let's do a sound check. Hopefully that was long enough of a delay after I cleared my throat and yelled really loud to get ready for the stream that y'all didn't just get your eardrums blown out. But let's find out.
A&W.
Shut up, A&W. Alright, I'm getting an ad. 1 second. Still getting an ad. I'd just like to learn if my stream's going okay. Shut up, A&W. Alright, we're good. Hello! Hello! Everybody is here for a fun, pretty quick and straightforward stream. We have one best of 3 to go through. It is 4v4 good factions versus evil factions. Ultra funds with the largest armies you've ever seen on Warhammer 3, in a Lord of the Rings movie, or anywhere else on the planet. Who is ready for a showdown? Who's ready for some fun? Now, we're not casting these games live because 1, that'd be insane. 2, that'd be laggy. And 3, you can only fit 8 people in the lobby, so you can't even put a spectator in there. So these were done ahead of time. Lucinia Marzik, brilliant host in our community of all things fun, did put these together for us. I'm going to start loading up the first game because there's no reason to delay. If it's a short stream, I don't usually stall for time and allow people to gather so they don't join halfway through an already short stream and miss context. I would never think ahead like that on a short stream. I just get straight into the action right away, and everyone who shows up late is a fucking loser! So we got game 1. There's so much more waiting and lag on Tequila stream last night, which I dropped out there. That could be fair. But for our game 1, we have the forces of good. A whole bunch of wizards on the ground. We have a DJ Katep, a Dragonblader Shugi, Lord of Yin, Elspeth von Draken, then we have a whole bunch of bright wizards and alchemists versus the forces of evil. Queekhead Taker, Scarbrand, Be'lakor, and Kolek Sun Eater. This is for sure game number 1. This is very serious and definitely not just silliness to waste approximately 8 minutes to let people gather. Definitely game 1. This is for real. This is the real shit. Also, I accidentally had the AI. I mean, the players were on defensive mode, so I had to run all the way to them, and their dumbasses didn't move at all. Alright. Queek is in, fighting tech lists. Hell yeah, I thought I took all the alchemist items off, but I guess I didn't. So there's like 8 alchemist elixirs of presence and armor or whatever, but Scarbrand and Kolek are going absolutely nuts in the middle. Let's go, Kolek. I'm so curious if he hits anybody ever. But yeah. Be'lakor, Scarbrand, Kolek, just killing a bunch of wizards. I was playing as the Empire, I did keep giving all of my guys orders to go fuck up Queek, but Scarbrand's Rampage plus big monsters just knocking them over really got in my way. But I did keep telling them to kill Queek. Kick his ass! As Queek is descended upon by, like, 9 bright wizards. He's just getting his ass handed to him. He's getting staggered out of control. Be'lakor, Scarbrand, and Kolek are doing fine. Elspeth standing around, thinking about participating, not super sure. As Be'lakor, in a rare act of benevolence, tries to fucking save Queek, who throws out Verminous Valor as he gets kicked in the side. He's just so sad. He's getting his shit rocked. Alright, Scarbrand's down to about, like, I don't know, missing a third of his HP. Be'lakor 2, Kolek is completely untouched. Balance Power's like, nah, dude, the mage has got it. As Queek goes below half HP. Yeah, no, we can't have 9 people in the lobby. That's not allowed. As Scarbrand causes everybody to rampage, and they all go after Queek! Yeah! They don't give a shit! They know what's up. as they all sprint after Queek while rampaged. Leonard Bolek, I did try and preface this a bunch, but I'm just stalling for time so people can gather because it's going to be a short stream today, and I would hate for people to join in like game 3 and miss the whole thing. So I'm just giving people time to notice that YouTube is live with some shenanigans. So it's just, this is silliness. We will get on to the actual thing in a second. I'm allowing people time to gather. Queek routes. We did it. Mission accomplished. And Bellacor's down to half HP. Scarbrand's still chilling. Kolek's chilling. We have lost Kotep. Rest in peace, Kotep. Teclis is still out there. My Cathay allies haven't abandoned me. And the Bright Wizard chain is going to chase Queek off the map. Queek's a little bit faster than the Bright Wizard, so he might get to safety. But it's all replays. It's probably a good thing, but it kills my meme. I'm sorry, Dog Ruler. I didn't mean to kill your meme. Alright, what can Scarbrand do? The answer is T-pose. T-pose, like a legend. The forces of good still have the balance of power advantage versus all this silliness. Elspeth and the alchemists of Cathay are trying to fight Be'lakor and Kolek, but it's not going great. Scarbrand's just been chilling. As mages are scattered to the wind and some of them aren't coming back. There we go. Now we start to come back. Actually, Scarbrand forces them to come back with a rampage and punts away my Bright Wizard before running around in circles. I just want to see him axe somebody. Ooh, that was a 2-for-1 Fire Breath. I actually didn't know we could hit 2 single entities with Fire Breath and do decent damage. And that killed one, and then he just axes another, tips over a Bright Wizard. Alright, Scarbrand's going Giga. He's fed. He actually missed that Bright Wizard. Bounce Power's now starting to realize that this situation may have been a little fraudulent, and it shouldn't be so favored in the form of all the mages, as Queek still runs away. He's not getting very much distance between himself and the Bright Wizards. And this Bright Wizard is holding a surprisingly long time versus the Balrog. We call him Gandalf. Gandalf the Flamey. Holy shit, this Bright Wizard's actually kicking ass. He hasn't taken damage in years! Let's go, Bright Wizard! Get him! Get his ass! Ah! There goes my hero. Watch him as he burns. Oh god, you cut him in half! You didn't have to do that! You could just, like, let him have a warrior's death! I'm starting to think Scarbrand might be a bad guy. Some of the mages are trying to rally. Kolek doesn't even care about him as Be'lakor goes to save Queek. The second time this game that AI Be'lakor tries to save Queek. He's so fucking jacked. I'm going to succeed in chasing Queek off the map. This is the last thing I do is the wizards try and rally. Kolek will not leave Be'lakor alone. Can't let him do this by himself. As he whiffs it on a Bright Wizard rear charge. And the balance of power has spoken. There is no hope left in the strength of men. Army losses takes it. But we got Queek! We got him! I want to see their values. Queek got 1,100, not bad. Kolek got 3,500, better than I would have thought. 6,100 for Scarbrand, and 4,100 for Be'lakor. Nice. Alright, who's ready for the real shit? There was your warm-up. There was the intro. We have 63 people. That seems reasonable. Queek hates all Grey Seers. All Wizards hate Queek. Yo, here's some. Alright. I did a little bit of the stream intro, but we do have more people here now, so let's get serious. Lucinia, Marzek hosted a fun little event on our Discord, organized a whole bunch of 4v4 games, did have them thematic, good versus evil. He had them do a best of 3. I have not seen any of these games. I don't really know what's coming my way. He just asked if I would stream them, and I said sure. Right, so here we are. 4v4s, let's go. So for the forces of good, I'm just going to cover this before we get into games so I give the people their credit. We have Rider of Rohan piloting High Elves. Stormrunner piloting the dwarves. Stead on Empire, and then Raced on the Wood Elves versus Lucinia himself on Nurgle. Boone Tax Evasion on the Greenskins. Mr. Chalk on Tzeentch. And then Sipa on Dark Elves. Here we go. This is the real one. Ultra Funds, 4v4, good versus evil. Why does Kolek suck so bad? He has a really hard time hitting foot characters. Is Thunderbarge unbend? I don't know. You'd have to ask Lucy about this event. Happy, we do try and do some fun events once in a while. We try. I don't know how I'm going to cast 8 armies with Ultra Funds at the same time. But let's find out. That's so many units! That's so many units! What the fuck? How am I supposed to cast that? Jesus! Okay, so we're just gonna go with the gist of what each army brought. For the High Elves, it looks like we have a staunch front line of spears, some of their more elite cav, and then archers with fucking Tyrion, who's their caster. Tyrion, a noble, and a high caster with fiery convocation as their only spell. Okay, cool. Oh, and the Omen of Assyrian, because of course. Okay, the Wood Elves, what did they mostly bring? A lot of cav, a lot of archers. They brought a Malevolent Tree Man of Shadows, Pit of Shades, and Occam's Mindrazor. Some spears, some zotes, more archers, and that looks like the Wood Elf contingent. For the dwarves, we have a bunch of Iron Drakes and Gyrocopters, so it's fire. It's fire. It's all fire. The fire Gyrocopters, Iron Drakes on the ground, flame cannons, Malachi Mycosson, another Master Engineer, more flame cannons, and then some Iron Breakers and minus the blasting charges. And then for the Empire, we have a Celestial Wizard with Comet, Harmonic Convergence, and then we have some cannons, some Null Ironsides mixed in with Great Swords, Silver Bullets, a Master Engineer on his Steam Tank, and then some Demigryph Knights with Halberds in the back. Alright, forces are good. Very mixed. Mixed forces in there. Mostly a lot of shooting. For the forces of evil, looks like Dark Elves have Doomfire Warlocks and Harpies all along the enemy's backlines. Looks like the Dark Elves are going mostly mobility. Do have a Firecaster with just Flamestorm, and then Sisters of Slaughter and Witch Elves to help rush up the front line. With Crone Hellebron on horseback to give some rampage melee attack buffs to her allies. For Tzeentch, I see a rainbow Penelope of blue horrors. It's not Penelope, it's Panoply. We'll see how hard I struggled on it. That's why I said it wrong. Tzeentch also brought some spawn in the front line, but mostly it is all of those horrors. We do have a Lord of Change, so that's not their lord. Where's their actual lord? The Blue Scribes and a Changeling, but what does he change into? He changes into the Blue Scribes! It's double Blue Scribes! All Blue Scribes all day. Cool. For the Greenskins, they brought artillery, which is not what I was expecting to say today. They brought 4 Goblin Rock Lavas, all triple silver chevron. Then Savage Orc Boys, also all triple silver chevron. A front line of Goblins and Black Orcs, triple silver chevron or gold chevron, including the Crimson Killas. Azhag the Slaughterer with double Feral Wyvern, also silver chevron. And then who's the 4th army in this mess? Nurgle. Got it. We have a Plague Ridden of Nurgle with Blight Boil as his only spell. Yes, that's his only spell. And then Pox Riders, Plague Drones of Nurgle, Plague Toads, and Plague Bearers with Epidemius as the Lord, and an Invisible Beast of Nurgle next to him. Ah, yes! The Beast of Nurgle. 3 floating Nurglings. Infamous. Tales are told in the Empire of its ferocity. Once, on a cold summer's night... Fuck you, I'm not going to cast the game till I'm done with this bit. Once, on a cold summer's night, the old farmer in the field, Johann was his name, heard a slithering. And he said, I hope it's not the great snake of corn. Then he heard a burping. Well, the snake of corn doesn't burp. It must be the great crow of Zinch, who was just eaten several ticks and has indigestion. And then he smelled the foul stink. Surely that was the ooze of the Slaaneshi jellyfish. But then he saw it. He saw it in Morsliv's pale light. The Beast of Nurgle. 3 Nurglings floating slightly above the ground, cackling and spinning innocently. He shit himself on the spot and died. Alright. And then Epidemus or whatever. Whatever. Let's get into it. That is a hard rush from the side. Oh, there's also a double Medusa. Hello, double Medusa. That is a hard rush from the side of evil. I wonder if they can beat up the forces of good, as the gyrocopters are going to fly around. Such a beast, you can't see it. It's still not loading in. The Nurglings are just floating on their own diarrhea as they leave behind this trail. Jesus Christ. Alright, here we go. Feral Wyvern and Azhag flying over the front lines. Actually looking pretty epic, as it were. Oh, but the back line is in a bit of trouble. Doomfire Warlock's already diving as the Royal Altdorf Gryphites try and hold them back and do pretty insane damage. And so far the Empire cannons are allowed to stay online. But in comes the Green Tide, meeting with the High Elf Spears and the Great Swords trying to hold. Weird Spawn will also get in here. Black Orc's going to add a little bit more menace to this front line. Can the Dwarves hold? Not something I'm used to being concerned about, but they also aren't usually outnumbered this badly. The forces of good are holding so far, and their guns are lighting up the enemy, but we'll see how well it can actually do as Crone Hellebron gets in here. Gonna try and buff up her Black Orcs, but she rampaged herself first before she popped her Gaze of Cain, so she didn't actually get the buff to the Black Orcs in time. Iron Drake's trying to fire up and over as Witch Elves do get to them, ducking and diving and rolling into those poor dwarves who don't really know what's coming for them. But the Doomfire Warlock flank is entirely annihilated, and that is a good amount of money away from the Dark Elves. Ooh, but the gyrocopters are already on the back foot, and doesn't look like the Empire or the High Elves has enough Daka online right now to really peel for those guys. As the Plague Bearers and Plague Toads of Nurgle have broken through the south side of the fight, the High Elves not holding well enough, and Null and Ironside's gonna try and figure their shit out in time to fire, but you know how I feel about Null and Ironsides, they suck. Wow, such a good unit! Anyway, they're all gonna die. The center has collapsed for the forces of good. Forces of evil are already in here. Do have some halberds trying to hold. Malachi Michelson, unbreakable and unshakable, is fighting back, though he's extremely squishy in melee. So he might want to just try and find somewhere else to be right now. Crone Hellebron has found her way up the Royal Altdorf Gryphite. She is on a horse, meaning she is large. Their anti-large applies, and she might just die for her sins. The forces of evil do seem to be way ahead here. Just look at their legions and how relatively unmaimed they are. Oh, there's a toad dragon! Where were you? Were you invisible like the Beast of Nurgle? Anyway, it's fighting the Omen of Assyrian and losing rather badly at the moment. I suppose there was probably some High Elf archer support or something. Epidemius is in there with his Beast of Nurgle, who still has not loaded in. The Null and Ironsides really can't catch a break as the balance of power starts to shift for the first time. Steam Tank's doing his best to hold the line as Malachi retreats behind some Empire Spears, the Grundrel's Defenders to be exact. They're taking some big damage. What can good even do right now? They don't have the mobility advantage to get back there and shut down all the greenskin shooting to get some balance of power back or something. I guess they just have to hold. Just have to hold and pray. As the Nurgle front line is starting to fade away, that demonic instability crumbling being a little bit more final than some mortal units you would be used to, you know? Where it's like, oh, they'll rally several times. Oh yeah, the Wood Elves exist! The fuck have you been doing? The whole Wood Elf army is up here! What the shit, man? Get down there, you cowardly tree fucks! They need you! Get in there! What are you doing? You bastards! Where were you when the world of men needed you? There was, we're gathered here today as dwarves and elves and men. We're gonna stop chaos. We're gonna send them back to their realms. And the Wood Elves are like, good luck, nerd, as they stand on the hilltops and jack off for 4.5 minutes. Get in there! They're dying without you! You bastards! Oh no! The Lost Sylvan come in at the last second and try and bail out some great swords. Oh, they're not doing nothing. The forces of Tzeentch are moving in. They're doing good work. Bloodwrack Medusas are still alive. And the forces of evil, if you go with our original thing, the forces of evil are dominating the top side of the fight, the north side. As we do have double blue scribes rolling around trying to get as many good spells as they can. Forces of good are trying to hold their backline. They're mounting like a desperate defense over here to try and let some of their units rally. But their strength is in the Wood Elves, who are still mostly intact on the high ground. It just hasn't mattered too much. Skyhammer, Gyro Bomber, ROR, and some Gyrocopter Brimstone guns are trying to get some things done on the side. And oh, there was a big flank at some point that I missed because, you know, there's like a million fucking things going on. But the High Elves and Wood Elves did team up to get into the Greenskin backline, knocked out a bunch of Goblin Rock Lavas, and we have some Pox Riders of Nurgle that are AFK in the backfield. It's almost like there's a lot going on and players are forgetting about certain things, but a big Flamestorm from the Dark Elves is going to fuck with some of what the humans are trying to do. Silverhelm's currently getting deleted by that giant tornado of fire, and the balance of power is still slightly in the favor of evil, though, I don't know, looking at the battlefield, it looks much more than slightly. Celestial Wizard gets Spirit Leech and dove by Azhag at the same time. Now on the backside, we get a couple of forces rallying, though any artillery that rallies is going to have a long walk to get back to its mounts to do any good work. Full health Lost Sylvan Knights ready to party with whoever they run into. What's going on over here? Tyrion and the Noble are taking the fight to Crone Hellebron and the Sorceress of Fire. I do honestly like that the High Elves somehow found the time to go mostly after the Dark Elves in this game. Like, out of everything going on, they're like, nah, we're getting our vengeance. Is Tyrion and Hellebron are trading 1-for-1. That would seem good for Hellebron until Tyrion's going to pop that massive heal of his and then just, you know, slice her head off. She does start to run away. Tyrion goes after her. With then 119 speed, yeah, he's going to catch her pretty easily. Tries to get a shot off there. But Tzeentch and Azhag are chasing off a lot of the Empire forces on the backline, meaning they're going to be kind of a non-factor in this battle. And we still have some Savage Orc Aura boys who are alive. Epidemius. Not Epidemius. You're a Plague-Ridden of Nurgle. That's chasing around the Master Engineer, getting some good shots out, while the Hawkeyes of Jakira stand around AFK. I wonder if they don't have Fire at Will on, because they're just not shooting very much. And the Wood Elves still trying to participate in this fight every so often, in their own way. Omen of Assyrian will try and defend itself against those Screamers. And some Sisters of Slaughter are trying to stop the Empire from rallying, but I guess it'll be mostly the Sour Guts that achieve that aim. Master Engineer is routing. Celestial Wizard didn't shatter or die. He is back. And the... Oh, no! The Beast of Nurgle! Not the 3 Nurglings! They're all dead as the Enigmas of Gairon had surrounded them a little bit. But the balance of power is looking a little too far for the Forces of Good to come back from. The Ironside's got this. I don't think they do. I don't think they do, as Azhag's taken an ill-advised fight against the Malevolent Tree Man of Shadows. He will not win that. Just the sheer amount of HP differential is going to be too big for him. I thought maybe Tzeentch was going to help Azhag, but it looks like Tzeentch has abandoned him. What is this? Is that a Blight Boil? I think that's a Blight Boil. How much damage does it even do? I've never seen this outside of campaign. Some. Some is the best I can say for that. Aztec finally disengages from the Shadows Tree Man. And our Pox Riders of Nurgle from the far corner have returned, bailing the greenskin archers out of any danger from those Blade Riders with spears. And at this point, it's GG. It's GG, boys. The Elven archers can't carry that hard as they try to kill the weird spawn. Lost Sylvan Knights still running around, still doing some good stuff. Can the Enigmas Lord Snipe Epidemius? Maybe? They do magic damage, so all of his physical resistance doesn't really matter. I guess he only has 20%. I would have thought he had more. Master Engineer of the Empire trying to retreat to the Wood Elves as the Firebark Elders spring their trap. You thought they were harmless trees, and then they snap into motion, jumping on Azhag. And the Plague Ridden still chasing him. Will not let that Master Engineer get anywhere safe. Tyrion and his Noble are actually still doing okay down here. They've been in the fight for quite a while. Omen of Assyrian also quite healthy. Is Crone Hellebron dead? I wonder what lords are even still alive out there. Epidemius is clearly alive, though he has lost half his HP fighting the Enigmas. Now the Enigmas are getting a great fight. Fighting the Pox Riders or Epidemius while you have archer support and have spear support nearby. Nurgle could lose their lord here. I don't know if that's enough to turn around the game. And Nurgle might love their caster as he chucks out another Blight Boil. Oh no! Rip the Winterheart Guard! Pretty good damage. Nice Blight Boil. You'll have to see it. Epidemius is about toast, however. And this is it. The turning of the tide as Tyrion also holds it down. Holy shit! And the balance of power is artificially inflated by double blue scribes who are double useless once you're out of Winds of Magic. Can they do it? I don't think they can do it, but can they do it? No, surely they can't do it. Can they do it? As a big comet hit next to Tyrion, some demonic units are dying off. God, surely they can't do it. Epidemius is dead. Greenskins aren't looking so hot. This isn't a comeback, is it? Come on. Okay. Pink Horrors about to demonic instability crumble as the Master Engineer leads the Wood Elves on a glorious charge. Microing double blue scribes is hard. It's true. It's true, it is hard. There's a big flamestorm, though. That was from the Dark Elves, I believe. They are the ones with that caster. Yeah, Dark Elves get a big old flamestorm, kill a lot of the Wood Elves, and try and reduce the hope of the forces of men and goodness and all that we love in this world. Savage Orc Arboys getting run over by the magic damage of the Wood Elves, their physical resistance amounting to nothing. The Bloodwrack reduces mount a final defense, but it is useless in the face of the Lost Sylvan Knights. What are they getting? What buff is this right now? Occam's Mind Razor for 50% more damage as they surround both the Medusas and take them down. Don't call it a comeback! Don't call it a comeback. Because it's not. But it is! Azhag's getting fucked up! Oh, that's huge. Actually, huge. If they can kill Azhag, which is unlikely, but if you kill Azhag, the Greenskins are already a spent force, so then they'll start shattering, and then that's one of the armies just effectively out of here. Kill the Plague Ridden of Nurgle. I think Nurgle's actually out of units at that point. Something just died a horrible death. It was the Master Engineer and his steam tank. Ooh, it's the Empire. I mean, they didn't have a lot of troops left. It's not like their leadership's going to hurt too much. Somehow the Plague Ridden of Nurgle is holding on to his leadership. He has been so low as a bolt of change comes for Tyrion. It hits him right in the face. He doesn't have Heart of Avalord. It's still on cooldown, but he's going to finish the Plague Ridden with the last of his strength. Tyrion, Eredarian, wielder of Sunfire, surrenders to no man. Swing, you stupid elf bitch. There we go. Got a hit onto the Plague Ridden. The Plague Ridden does manage to rally. The Celestial Wizard comes in with the steel chair. The joke battle at the start of the stream to stall for time is turning into reality as the Wizards do it. The Foot Wizards of the Empire. Plague Ridden is gone. And with that, I think that is literally the Nurgle player is out. And the High Elves and Wood Elves still have a lot of archers up on the high ground. Empire's Celestial Wizard are trying to pull back with them. Malevolent Treekin is here. Omen of Assyrian retreating away from Azhag the Slaughterer as Silver Helms mount a final desperate charge into the Sour Guts. And Exalted Pink Horror is almost out of ammunition, which would be a damning thing in any other game, but in a 4v4 extra large super funds, I guess that's fine. The Blazing Wheelers get taken down. The Omen of Assyrian gets a clutch heal. And a Sorceress of Fire does use a Flamestorm on her way out. It looks like it was Overcast, but the Overcast damage was behind her as she continued to roll on. We are 13 minutes into this game, and the Forces of Good, like, I kind of wanted them to give up about 5 minutes ago, but I guess it was worth it because they're starting to do it. Remember, the Changeling and the Blue Scribes are the most fraudulent balance of power you've ever seen. Remember that. That is very important. Someone donated, I will go back and I will find it. But there is way too much happening right now. But I didn't miss your donation, I just am busy. But I did see it. Still trying to kill that Sorcerer, still trying to kill the Exalted Pink Horrors as the Iron Drakes are overrun with a nearly full health spawn of Tzeentch that came out of fucking nowhere. And the balance of power is back to 50-50, boys! It's back to 50-50, they're doing it! They're doing it as Azheg's fucking dead! Tyrion and the Omen of Azurian are gonna take him out, holy shit! He's gone! He's dead! No way he's getting home. This is Spider-Man No Way Home, but for greenskins, and if he dies, those Black Orcs are gone! Everybody's gone! The Lord of Change has landed, but he's in a pile of trees. They all do magic damage, and what can a bird do against trees? You can't even see him! He's invisible! Never mind, he's back. Oh, you can't see him! There he is. There he's gone! There he is. The Blue Scribes are sitting up above watching their plans go to absolute shit as one Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts is the only archer that the Wood Elves can keep online. Everything else is running away as the Exalted Big Hordes are chasing down. Some Sisters of Slaughter are fighting to the very, very end against these Wood Elves, but can they do it? Malevolent Tree Man is kicking the Lord of Change's ass! The Sour Guts are trying to fight against Loud Seaguard. They have a little bit of ammo left to spend. Azheg did not die. He is just getting chased off by the Omen of Azurian. I guess it doesn't matter that much as there's no greenskins left that the leadership debuff will really matter. It's a nice Awakening of the Wood, I think. Or Brain Burster from the Blue Scribes does a lot of damage. The Lord of Change holding on for now. Demonic Instability coming in close to take him out. The Firebark Elders are full HP. Can the bad guys even kill the Firebark Elders? And Tyrion? Celestial Wizard puts his body on the line to save these Glade Guards so they can fire point-blank range into the Exalted Pink Horrors and avenge him as he shatters, his courage failing him at last. The double Blue Scribes, one of which is a Changeling, still thinking about how to participate as the Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts. The last one with ammo and HP is free firing. Lord of Change has held on this long somehow, but Tyrion's coming in from behind. Fate and Riposte up. The rear charge takes him down. Tyrion, Demon Slayer, 3,800 value in a huge battle. He doesn't give a single fuck. He doesn't give a single fuck. He's in it. He is in it. Azheg did die before getting off the battlefield. Again, not that it matters. I don't see any greenskins that really care about that sort of thing. And in comes a Gaze of Nagash onto the back of the Firebark Elders, actually doing decent damage as the Chromatic Abominations try and take the fight to them. Spawn of Tzeentch are also coming in. But do these guys have what it takes? Arcane Surge is in to try and give these guys a little bit of damage, and now, oh, not damage, Winds of Magic that they desperately need, but now they're using their bodies as cherries as the Hawkeyes and Shakira desperately try and peel for the Starfire Shafts. Starfire Shafts will get taken out. They're down. And the Tree Blob with Tyrion continues to hold for now. The Spawn of Tzeentch need to rejoin that fight and proc their Armor Sundering just to help out the Chromatic Abominations a little bit. Looks like we get the downhill charge. Any damage is good damage. The Omen of Azurian tries to come back. These guys need something clutch. The Blue Scribes are going to have to carry, and that's not really a sentence I'm used to saying out loud. These last Wood Elves, courageous beyond their years, continue to fight back against the Changeling. And then they do shatter. Other guys are routing. Unless the Blue Scribes come out of left field with a Final Transmutation or a Bolt of Change, the Tier 2 army ability of Tzeentch, then this game is over. But if they have, like, Traderkin Overcast or some single entity AoE spell, as soon as the Omen of Azurian joins this fight, that could be clutch in turning how this game is going to go. Looks like the Wood Elves have maybe noticed that. No, they're going back in. I was wondering if they were just opting out on purpose. But Omen of Azurian gets a beautiful tornado off onto the Chromatic Abominations. If the Changelings somehow still have Winds of Magic this late into the game and they somehow have that spell, now is the time. Otherwise, the game is over. And it looks like that's just going to be it. Army losses hits. And the good guys just clutch it out. I thought they were done. I thought they were so fucking done. Okay. Okay, guys.
Meet your death.
You playing again? That was game 1 out of possibly 3. All right, I'm scrolling back up through chat for just a moment, okay? Just let me catch up with chat for a moment, because I haven't been able to look over here. It's it's been busy. Spirit of the Gorg with the €2. Nurglings did their best Blue Scribe impression. Yeah, they did. I am shocked Evil lost that from how it started. Oh, boy. Okay. I was just glancing through chat. Whew! I got up to 2 more of those? I don't know if I can. Oh, that was exhausting to try and keep up with. Okay. Whew. Let's do this. Yeah, the Wood Elves coming in clutch in the end, but at the start of the game, it was looking like they sold out the forces of good. They just sat up on the hill like, fuck you. Alright. Let us give good their point. I'll get the blocker back up. I fucked it up earlier in the stream. But if you were paying close attention, you know how many games there are, but we'll see. If you see 1 more left, then you know that it was a 2-0. If you see 2 more left, you'd know that the next game goes to the Forces of Evil, so gotta put the blocker up for a little bit of suspense. So, for game 2, we have Lucinia on Kislev, Olaf the Moose on Itza, which is the Lizardmen, Gotrek Starbreaker on the Dwarves again, and then Liberos on the Tomb Kings. For the Forces of Evil, we have Borgash on the Ogre Kingdoms, which is not an evil faction. They are a mixed faction, because they also serve the Empire quite a lot. They're just mercenaries. Bahrain on Khorne, Cuden on Warriors of Chaos, and then Powerchan on Skaven. Not showing values? I showed Tyrion's mid-battle, but, like, there were so many units. There were so many units. Oh! Jesus Christ. Alright, I'm gonna see what the dog wanted. Yeah, they'll serve anyone. I'm not saying they don't belong, like, they can't be in this evil army. I'm just saying you shouldn't label it as an evil army if ogres are a quarter of them. But anyway, I need to go see what the dog's barking at in case my house is currently being broken into. 1 second. It's just the trash. It's just the garbage truck taking out the garbage. Alright. Hey. That's enough. We saw it was just the garbage. Okie dokie. Game 2. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. So for gist of what is going on, as Hazel is now trying to knock me over, we have Cetra's Chariot Tide, 6 skeleton chariots and skeleton archer chariots, all with triple gold chevrons. We have a Tomb Prince, 2 Tomb Princes, both on chariots, and then Cetra the Imperishable, also on his chariot. So it's just chariots all day. All right. On the, not on the other side, I guess we also have some Ushabti, some Nekar warriors in the front line. And then Skeleton warriors and some Ushabti great bows. Wow. I know it's Ultra Funds, but it feels like the Tomb Kings have even more than Ultra Funds. Okay. For the Dwarves, it's just Slayers. They have a bunch of Goblin Hewers, Giant Slayers, a Demon Slayer, more Goblin Hewers on the front line. It was like literally the whole build is just Slayers. It's Slayers as far as you can see. Lizardmen brought some Kroxigors and Saurus. We have 2 Ancient Stegodons, both with the Solar Beam of the Gods, Lord Croak for pizza delivery, and Gorok, of course, with some Temple Guard in the front line, because of course. Feral Cauldrons in the back line, stuff like that. Oh, Dwarves also brought Thunderers with Grudge Rakers. Didn't notice that. Triple Gold Chevron. There they all are. Including the Grim Delvers, the ROR that I've never seen in a game, but cool. Okay, we covered 3 armies, so that leaves Kislev. Kislev! Little Grom, Triple Gold Chevron, some Kosovo Dervishes with a Frostmane of Tempest, Hawks of Mishka, and Biting Wind for her. Ice Guard with Glaives across the front line, a Frostworm, some Streltsy, and some Zargard. With a Druzina. Druzina. Oh, Kislev did bring some Vanguard Dervishes. Have you considered 500 chariots? Nice. On the other side, for the forces of evil, quotations, Ogre Kingdoms brought 4 Gorgers, a bunch of Ogre Bulls, and Iron Guts. More Ogre Bulls, more Iron Guts. And then I saw Scrag, so I'm assuming he has his Cauldron of the Great Dick. Where is it? Well, there we go. Cauldron of the Great Maw. If he can get a good the Maw off, he can get his Gorgers nice and healed early. What the hell am I How am I supposed to... Okay, guys. Let's have Human Boy cast a 4v4. That'll be fine. That'll be fun. Let's also just put all of our fucking units on top of each other. How am I supposed to discern what's in there? It's all garbage to me. I can't tell what's in there. What? Does anyone happen to know if Petonia's good in land battles? Yeah, Petonia's amazing. Petonia is super good at land battles. Alright, front line. It looks like Khorne took most of the front line duties. We have Bloodletters, Exalted Bloodletters, Marauders dual weapons. I saw some Chosen in there. So it is really every variant of Khorne infantry holding up that front line. Exalted Bloodthirster leading them with some Flesh Hounds. And then the Warriors of Chaos, with a lot of dogs. Archaon the Ever-Chosen, Summoners of Rage, and the Swords of Chaos. Some Marauder Horse Masters. Whatever this is in here, I can't figure it out. And then Skaven. But what about all the Chaos stuff? I can't figure out what's in there. For the Skaven, we have Queek. Somewhere, there he is. Queek, the thing. A Chieftain? An Eshed Sorcerer with Black Whirlwind and what? Skitterleap. Oh, that's why they're all clumped up. You want to make them all invisible. Got it. Okay. At least you're not just messing with me. And then a shitload of Storm Vermin with some Plague Claw Catapults. Oh, the Soul of Damnations are out too. Fine. That's fine. Everything's fine. I'm just going to hit stuff. Fuck this.
A hard fight beckons, but know that Mother Kislev strengthens her faith.
That sheer unadulterated Ogre AF. In comes a Skitterleap, as all of these forces scatter while invisible. They have 10 seconds left of invisibility, and some of them haven't even moved. I'm not sure I like that strat. I appreciate the thought behind it, but it's literally about to wear off, and they haven't moved. It's gone. What was the point? Why did you do that? You didn't get anywhere! Okay, whatever. I'm moving on. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I want to see the Cetra Chariot Tide. That's what I want to see. As they move in, they come sweeping through these Chaos Warriors with halberds, just relying on the sheer amount of chariots to get through them as the Exalted Bloodthirster starts to kill off Nekar Warriors. Even in a replay, my computer is sweating to try and get through this. Chosen of Khorne dual weapons get mowed down by those chariots. Not taking a lot of damage, but they do get scattered. But the front line is brutal. Dealing with Khorne like this, they're just getting rolled. Something is happening here. I'll keep my screen on it. It's a laser dino. I don't know how much damage it's really going to do to these guys, but we'll find out as it goes straight through. As the Soul of Damnation's trying to get a little bit of damage down. Sunbeam does appear to be doing good work. As Queek and the Storm Vermin hope to get involved. More trolls, Chaos Trolls, Ogres piling up. And the Slayers are desperately trying to hold the front line. That is not going in their favor. Another laser beam is out, though it's going to friendly fire some Zargard. And the Frostworm is going absolutely nuts. Giant pile of Maniers with great weapons. All three of them trying to get to the Frostworm. I wonder if Little Grom's around. Should probably be firing into that clump of Man-Eaters would be a good target for him. Do have some Gorgers still on the flanks. They're trying to get good stuff out. And Cauldron of the Maw is only 1/5 charged. Something's happening right here. What is this? What's getting cast right now? Oh, it's the Deliverance of Itza. Say goodbye to 2 Storm Vermin. Not as much damage as I would have thought, honestly. Scrag is in. We do have some Exalted Bloodletters of Khorne trying to get through the front line as Feral Coldlan's trying to hold them back. Cetra's Chariot Tide has been abated for now as the Ogres and Khorne's mass push them back, doing a lot of damage in the meantime. But the Goblin Hewers are setting up. They are ready to mess with this Exalted Bloodthirster. Surian's Incantation Avenge on him. Going to slow him down a little bit, but doesn't do that much damage versus single entities as something is happening right here. It is a Black Whirlwind of the Skaven, the classic Skaven faction. It honestly catches more Marauders of Khorne than Dwarf Warriors. It's a bit of a rip there. Demon Slayer taking a lot of damage as Queek comes hunting for him. I can't even find Queek in the pile of bodies, but he's in there. I see the flag. Lord Croak's charging up something else. Ooh, it's a big pizza. I think that's the biggest one he can cast. Yeah, it looked big. Took out a lot of stuff. Grudge Rakers trying to light up the Chaos Giants, and they are, they're gonna do it. I want to see another volley out of this one. I still maintain that Grudge Rakers are bad, but... Yep, they suck. Okay, moving on. Shafted Great Bow still trying to snipe out the Exalted Bloodthirster. Did not deal with the Goblin Hewers, and now those guys are firing into the Chieftains. As a big old Sunbeam goes straight through like 1,000,000 units, carving them up for the old ones, and the thing is trying to come back into the fight. We have some Zargard with great weapons, full health, walking off the map because they do need to be returned. And Scrag is also going to try diving in. Storm Vermin thinking about routing in every direction. The Order Tide is ahead, and last time we saw the Order Tide come back from behind. Now they're just going to start out ahead, and it makes me think that they will continue to stack up fat dubs. Ancient Stegodon waddling away from the Exalted Bloodthirster and the Thing as it pops its rampage. Goblin Hewer, Shop to Great Bows, all these little skinks. Everybody just trying to stop these guys for now as these other Goblin Hewers are getting shut down by a lot of Iron Guts and Flesh Hounds. How are those Gorgers, by the way? Did they ever heal up? Cauldron of the Great Maw is less than half. I think it's like 40% charged there-ish. So, still bad. If you can't charge it up in an ultra-sized 4v4, then the Cauldron of the Great Maw has way too high expectations for how to charge it. Queek is fighting the Demon Slayer in a pile of Lizardmen. The fearless champion that he is. His Ashen Sorcerer tried to lend a little bit of aid, and he did succeed in that, to be fair, as the Goblin Hewers are still using a lot of their ammunition on the Thing, knock it down, take it out with the Skaven Slave Spear popping at last. Where's Archaon? There he is. He's fighting Cetra and the Chariots that I forgot existed. Cetra's going to opt out. Doesn't want to fight the Lord of the End Times just yet. The Druzina and Little Grom still firing away on the side, been mostly safe. Kislev, I haven't paid too much attention to their struggles, but it looks like the Ice Guard are carving up some Gorgers. And Strelts here doing just fine as well. So the Kislev side overall held. It looks like this area is getting a little scattered, and the Ogres and Evil side can come in with the Steel Chair soon. We'll see how much that matters as Queek continues to duel with the Demon Slayer, doing okay damage, and Archaon lends his support to try and get these Croc scores cleaned out. The Swords of Chaos also nearby, getting rid of Thunderers as the Summoners of Rage use their Bound Chain Lightning to disrupt some of the Grudge Rakers from shooting at point-blank range into their evil bad guy minions. Goblin Hewers are mostly dead. Mostly all dead. I don't think they can really mount a meaningful defense at this point. Fleshhound's trying to catch Cetra and his Chariots. Out of position, more Fleshhound's going to come screaming back in. And I wonder if Khorne has enough kills for a Sword of Khorne. What is that? Oh, it's a Maul. There's a Maul. Hello, Ma. Summoners, Rage, and Swords of Chaos gonna go through these Goblin Hewer crews and Thunder's Grudge Rakers. Chieftain runs to the aid of Queek, who's actually doing surprisingly chill on leadership. Fight or Die is keeping him in it from Archaon, I suppose, as the Demon Slayer was pushed away. Now the Ancient Stegodon is back in, causing a bunch of terror Queek doesn't want to deal with. That little Grom is still up and alive with the Drazina guarding it. It looks like the forces of evil that were over here were not quite able to get past the scattered remains of Kizilvites, and that little Grom is still doing pretty good damage. 2,800 on him so far. Something is happening right here, and I'm not actually sure what spell's coming this way. Lord Croak trying to peel for the Ushapti and the Goblin Hewers. Gets a little bit of damage down. We'll see if that's even enough to get rid of the Exalted Bloodletters after the demonic instability buffs that they desperately needed. I'm not complaining. These guys, you pretty much have to kill them to the last, which is generally fine. Speaking of killing to last, somehow Queek is staying in this fight. Don't know how. At 4 HP, he finally decides to rout. Oh, it's the Crown of Domination from Archaon is giving him ITP and leadership, which is a dangerous thing to give to a Skaven. But yeah, if the Forces of Evil want to win this, they need to focus down that little Grom and Drazina. Those are proving to be huge problems. Cetra is running out of chariots to hide behind as other ones come up to bail him out. I heard an overcast somewhere for some reason, so I don't know what Archaon just tried to achieve, but it was something. And it didn't really work out. As a biting wind goes through the Marauder Horsemasters, and the Streltsy plus the Ice Guard are going to peel them off pretty easily. But some Man-Eaters of Great Weapons finally found their way onto the little Grom. And there's this Gorger in the distance that's still chasing some stuff down. I guess the Ogres really want their army passive. Skaven did just lose their leader, which will be problematic for them. Lord Croak probably trying to save himself further from these guys. Bounce power still about even. I'm thinking I would rather be the bad guys because a bunch of balance of power is locked up in this little Grom and Drazina who you can take out in melee pretty easily, as the Exalted Bloodthirster is now proving, slapping the shit out of that little Grom while he cannot die due to Reckless Rage. Still has 3 seconds left on that as he's getting big hits in everywhere. Knights of Blazing Throne charging in. Little Grom pops his Buy Our Blood passive, and he can die now. The Exalted Bloodthirster can die. He just refuses to, as he takes out Little Grom once and for all. Discouraged Aura coming out, trying to proc the demonic instability crumbling on him. Can the Exalted Bloodthirster stay in it? He desperately wants to stay in it. The Hawks are pecking at his face. His leadership is 3, but he's holding on to kick the Drazina's ass. Demonic instability finally comes for him, and he can't deny it any longer. He's fought as long as Khorne is willing to let him, and he will go down, but taking Little Grom was a big dive and a big play from the Khorne player. Archaon uses a Spirit Leech on an Ancient Stegodon, which just looks silly, but I guess you have to. Cetra's getting pretty low over there as Scrag runs through to help clean up some of these Zargard and Saurus warriors, just trying to get kills. The Ogres are really prioritizing killing things that are running away to get more of their Butcher passives and heals and slows and all that stuff. Knights of the Brazen Throne do get pushed away by the Frost Maiden, but also a little bit of Ice Guard Overwatch fire, and the Forces of Good are falling slowly behind on the balance of power. We still have some Gorgers. Scrag has gotten past the halfway point on the Cauldron of the Great Maw. Just barely past the halfway point. Still sucks. Still sucks. He has 117 kills. Alright, Lord Croak dies to Archaon, the Ever-Chosen. Ushapti are going to die to Iron Guts and Chosen with great weapons. And it is a scattered fight we find ourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. Gorok is fighting back against some random Man-Eaters with Iron Fists. He will probably win that. Drazina's firing over at these guys. The Gorgers have taken a lot of damage since they rejoined the fight. They do shatter off some random Lizardmen Temple Guard. But the Forces of Evil pull further and further ahead. Esh and Sorcerer managing to hold it down for now. And Scrag with some Iron Guts and Man-Eaters rallying. So the Forces of Chaos are mostly kind of clumping up around this area to get their shit back together. The Forces of Order are mostly killing people off in the far ground and then relying on the Drazina for real damage, but one of these forces has a lot less than the other. Ancient Stegodon slowed down by Brittle Bone. Archaon and the Trolls trying to figure out how to stop it or how to deal any damage to it, but it will get a side charge off onto Chosen, who do not have ITP for some reason, so they'll probably just terror out for being side charged like that. Oh, now they have the Crown of Domination, so Archaon gave them ITP. Scrag and the boys rallying up. And these Chaos Trolls are just charging straight at the Ice Guard with Glaives. The Ice Guard keep trying to pick off the Chosen. They're not going to deal with the Chaos Trolls charging straight at them. They don't care. They don't give a shit. No! Pow! Drazina will come help out, and they should be able to get rid of those Chaos Trolls. Should. As Archaon breaks away from Gorok. Clearly didn't want any of that nonsense. Skitter Leap gives him more speed and unspottable. You'll never see the Archaon sprinting straight at you. As he plows into the Drazina. Doesn't hit his charge attack. And then he gets a big old strike off on the Drazina, and this could be the death knell for the forces of good. Can Cetra bring back all of these forces on the outside and rally to the aid of Kislev as the Ice Guard and Drazina fight side by side to the very end? But there is no hope for them. There is no savior over the horizon. Kislev will fall. And one final Hawks of Miska is cast onto the Drazina, as is Buyer of Blood. Buys a little bit of time. Maybe the leadership debuff can get some free routes in these units, and considering they're low leadership units and Ogres, quote-unquote low leadership, and Chaos Trolls, routes can turn into Shatters as the game goes on, so it is a valuable asset. But now the Ice Witch of Tempest trying to crawl away on her bear away from Archaon. Scrag joins in the merry chase. Gorok and this Ancient Stegodon have done some decent damage. Iron God's getting whittled down. These are chosen, though. Okay. Archaon with Slayer King's actives just charge into an Ancient Stegodon, but now he's fighting a lot v1. Ancient Stegodon gonna hold its leadership for now, as Archaon's fighting Croxagors, a caster, and the Stegodon. Stegodon has 30 HP, and positive leadership due to Cold-Blooded. Archaon needs to back off for now. That big Terror piece still in the fight until those Iron Guts kill it. There it finally goes. It dies, and Mace Olmok is popped for Gorok, giving him more stats, but Brittlebone will lower his leadership. Not leadership. Lower other stats. Other things. Things are going on. Cetra tries to fight against Archaon, but tries to get away after that. Dismember going to slow him down, though. He needs to just turn and fight. He can't outrun this, and he just needs to try and get what value he can, but he refuses to fight. He is a coward at heart. Tries to get away from Archaon, even though he can't. One final biting wind comes through from the Kislev caster as Cetra tries to return back to his Nehekhara homeland. It will not be enough, and he will die for nothing. It's just an Ice Witch of Tempest and an almost dead Gorok versus the world at this point. Cetra also somehow managed to get enough leadership back. Interesting. But that is it. That is GG. Now I mean it this time. Not like last time where I said the forces of good were out and then they actually won it. This time I mean it. They're dead as hell. Scrag. Only 1,500 value. His Cauldron of the Great Maw is 72% charged after a 15-minute game of 4v4. Cauldron sucks. It sucks. You dare? He's got regen plus Unbreakable. Who? I don't think Scrag does. I think the Gorgers do. Just the Gorgers. And they only get regen from Scrag, but his Cauldron just takes too long to charge, is my whole thing. I don't think the concept of it is bad. They just need to really change the intensity scaling. As I change my desk to sitting mode. Frostworm died off screen. It did not do very well. Drazina and the caster did amazing. Little Grom did amazing. And 3,100 value on one of the Ice Guard. I got bullied into looking at the values. For Olaf, Gorok did okay. 4,200 on Lord Croak. The Laser Dinos, 3,300 and 2,000. Sacred Croc scores did pretty well. Temple Guard did okay. Saurus mostly got punked. For Gotrek and his Slayer Core, Demon Slayer and the other Slayers did okay. Giant Slayers did awesome. Goblin Hewers mixed, but overall good. And then the Grudge Rakers, fine, but they're triple gold chevron, so should have done a little bit better. For Liberos, the Tomb Kings were the ones I noticed the least. as the chariots, as you can see, all sucked and died horribly. Tomb King's chariots are bad. Most chariots are bad right now, but Tomb King's chariots especially. It's cool. No side for Borgash. And the Man-Eaters. None of the Man-Eaters crazy value, just like fine. Iron Gut's fine. Gorgers did pretty well. Then Ogre Bulls didn't get much done. For Corn, 3,200 on the Bloodthirster, 3,100 on the Knights of the Brazen Throne. Chosen did okay. Corn Infantry did fine. Fleshhounds did pretty good. For Cuden and Archeon, 6,800 for the Lord of the End Times. 2,800 for the Summoners of Rage. And man, Archeon apparently hard carried. 6,800. That is good. Giants both died horribly. That's that. And then for Power Chan, Queek 1,100. Chieftain, a whopping 300, baby. Let's freaking go. Skaven did fucking nothing. The Skaven didn't do shit. Where did all the value come from? I guess Korn got a lot of it. Korn got a lot of value, and then Archeon did. The Rock Skulls did alright. The Queek's army just did nothing. Like, they got no value anywhere. They all sucked and died. God damn it, Skaven. Alright. I don't have to put a blocker up because y'all know there's a game 3 now. Thank you for hosting this event to determine if good or evil has more power. Strike him with the $10. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And thank Lucy for putting it all together. I'm just the caster. Deciding match. The forces of good. The forces of evil. For the forces of good, pilot Lucinia himself on the High Elves. Olaf the Moose on Wood Elves. Stormrunner on Bretonnia and Raced with some Lizardmen. On the other side, Mr. Teufel repping the Vampire Coast with 5 bloated corpses. Curious how that's going to go. Sipa with his Corn Tide. Cuden on the Skaven with so much Daka, and then Gorage. And then Lamb Sauce King with some Ogres. So this is actually much easier than talking about the armies in games. So let's just look real quick. Lizardmen bringing a Skink Tide with Tic-Tac-Toe. A pretty balanced army overall, not like too far in any direction. Bretonnia bringing some Flying Cav, Trebs, and then Grail Relics to buff up the front lines. That's going to be huge, because it can buff up more than just Bretonnia. It can buff up all these other guys. Wood Elves bringing mostly cavalry. So they're going to be the cav component of the good guys. And then a lion build. Alistair the White Lion Chariots, White Lions regular, and then 2 dragons with White Lions of Krace in the front line. Okay, cool. Good guy army is very balanced, but mostly rush focused. For the bad guys, Ogres have a lot of shooting. 4 Lead Belchers and 2 Scrap Launchers. And then some Ogres, but it is just shooting, man. All of it shooting. 4 Jezzails, 4 Poison Wind Mortars, 3 artillery pieces from the Skaven. Korn's front line, once again, just trying to use those buffs they just got where their front line's cheaper. And the Vampire Coast with Queen Bess and the Gallows Giant, a bit more Daka, but Bloated Corpse is going to try and cause some disruption, I guess. So the bad guys are trying their hand at shooting. Sipa, no spoilers. What's the point of casting if you're going to do spoilers? Now those hand cannons, though. Alright, we already went through the armies, so we can just start it off. Skaven gonna start firing as my computer, for the first time, starts to struggle just because as soon as we load in, the Skaven unload on the Archer Corps of the High Elves and some of the Wood Elves here. Bretonia trying to fire back with their blessed field trips, but they are woefully outgunned in this contest. Zombie pirate gunnery mobs are down, but I see a bloated corpse explode in the woods, take out some of the Glade Riders, while Morngul's attempt to peel a little bit more. And Khorne's front line has now decided to sacrifice themselves while the Skaven continue to bomb, but the Skaven bomb's falling a bit short and actually landing on their troops more than the enemy. Tic-Tac-Toe's Vanguard, he's now having to deal with Solastra up on her Crab. Otherwise, we also have some Ripperdactyl Riders trying to take out Warped Lightning Cannons and Ikid Zap Zap. Lead Belcher's still standing back, but for now, as long as Khorne's front line holds, which it's dying quite quickly in front of our very eyes, if it holds, man, you have so much Daka to try and keep things safe. As the Jezzails have now turned their fire onto the Dragons, as the Mortars keep up their withering fire of the front line. Lots and lots of damage on these poor folks, but the Bloodletters have about run out of gas. Even with those leadership buffs, they can't take this kind of damage this quickly and hold on. They're about to Demonic Instability crumble, and then they're going to have a big... Evil's going to have a big problem as the forces of good are able to get through this front line here. Alistair, the White Lion, and a Dragon are both just running into the back line to cause some disruption. Tic-Tac-Toe and his Ripperdactyls were doing the same. They're just trying to buy time. Lion Chariots also getting in here to just cause a bit of disruption. Blade Riders all piling up. Is there a bloated corpse that can still take them out? It doesn't look like it, as those are triple gold chevron mounted yeoman archers. Okay. Forces of Evil are in a bit of a bad spot. They need to turn and fire on this backside that's coming towards them. Some of the Vampire Coast trying to get their shotguns in position, but the Glade Riders are not going to let it happen, diving straight in with the Skink Priest of Heavens. The forces of good seem to be in ascendance. There is a big old tree fight happening over here as the Royal Pegasus Knights, Rapunzel, and Enri are trying to deal with Scarbrand and Man-Eaters, and it does not look to be going their way as Scarbrand is massacring these fools. So Khorne is winning up in the trees, but the front line's falling apart a bit, and soon the Order Tide will be able to get through there. Hornwood's starting to move up now. And you see the backline of the evil forces are in a bit of disarray. A lot of white flags as they keep routing off. Balance of power is going to shift a little bit back towards the good guys. We do have some Zombie Pirate Gunnery mobs firing at Tic-Tac-Toe and Ripperdactyl Riders who just now got new orders to keep moving. Make sure that things get away. A Moon Dragon, one that dove in to buy a bit of time, finally is pushed off by Gorich and Ikit. The Gallows Giant being defended by the Blood Reaver Depth Guard is going to be a problem for Alistair. He does not want to be here for too much longer. Khorne is breaking through on that top side. They need to bring these forces back and defend their own back line, however. Star Chamber Guardians, Dinosaurs, and the Wood Elf Cav continue to just sweep through the red lines. Remember, red used to be deployed, like, there. And they're already down to here. They've lost this much room from just getting pushed by the Wood Elves. Lead Belcher's routing. Poisonwind Globe's routing. Jezzail's routing and rallying up there. Queen Bess is under attack. Queen Bess, did you even do anything? I guess got 800 value somewhere. As Lion Chariots try and stop her. But the Undead are just having a hard time shooting. So are the Skaven. Alistair is going to rout. Blood Reaver Depth Guard were too much for him to deal with. Scarbrand and the boys. They did win that fight, so now they're bringing those Iron Guts that were up in the trees back down here to counter sweep. So the Wood Elves are coming from here. Ogre Kingdoms are coming in from here. They're going to meet in the middle and try and push each other back. For the forces of good, we have some rallying forces up here that can try and deal with some of these Bloodletters and Exalt Bloodletters and really rally back into the fight. Nobbler Trapper's also giving them a bit of guff. But it's looking a little rough. I think the forces of good might just have taken too much damage from the ranged units of the bad guys. Because even if you rout off all the ranged units, like, they just don't have a lot left, it looks like. What's going to kill all these Man-Eaters and Depth Guard? Got her back after the replay. Miss what? You gotta tell me what. There's like a million things going on. What did I miss? Alright, Morgul's 3-minute mark. The front line got... Okay. Anyway. Iron Guts and Blood Reaver Depth Guard running around. still doing their best, but the Lion Chariots just don't have any DPS. Like, they're mostly tanky and disruptive. They can't, like, kill these units. Star Chamber Guardian's trying to fight back against all these Ogre Kingdoms, but slowly and surely... Queen Bess actually got saved, which is surprising, but anyway, this backfiring line is getting fixed a little bit. Big Kraken's pull on 3 mounted yeoman archers in the woods, as Queen Bess also is firing in on the blobbed up yeoman. Might get them to rout off the map. Nah, they'll be fine. Edge map's pretty far away. Something's happening over here. Thunderous One just casting more thunder as Alistair the White Lion groups up with Henry, Raponce, and a Damsel. Try and take on Gorge and the Rat Ogres, but I don't think they're gonna be okay in there. It's not just Rat Ogres, it's also Mourngulls and Man-Eater Great Weapons. That is a tough cookie to crack. Gorge is in here as well, waiting to kill Alistair. He can kill Alistair in one more hit. He's not going to do it. He's a gentleman. Walks away. Tic-Tac-Toe is still alive. Didn't notice him up there. Tries to come back in. And just as I count them out, the Order Tide are coming back. Great Stag Knights plus the Glade Captain trying to take out Solastra. Ikit Claw is getting very low. Gorge is half HP. He's fine. But if Ikit dies, I can see him routing or something as he takes out Alistair. Alistair is dead. High Elves suffer a bit of a leadership spike, though again, they're one of the best leadership factions in the game, so it's not going to affect them as much as it would affect most other factions. And what can Tic-Tac do? Can Tic-Tac toe the line? Or will he Tic-Tac die? Nailed it. Crushed it. Solastra is starting to crumble a little bit. Ikit Claw is super close to dead. I'll see if Tic-Tac-Toe or the Stag Knights can finish him off. That is really the last hope of the Order forces at this point. Is just a... That was a straight shot for Queen Bess. She didn't do the arcing thing. I think he manually fired it, to be honest. Anyway. What was I saying before the manual fire got me? Oh yeah, the forces of Order, their only chance at this point is to snipe out Ikit and Solastra and just rely on the enemy leadership to be dog shit. You could kill the Tyrant wherever he is. Did he go off the map? No, he rallied. Anyway, kill the Tyrant, kill all the leadership. Ogres might rout, Skaven will definitely rout, Vampire Coast might crumble away, and then in the end you'll just deal with Khorne, who doesn't seem to have a whole lot left in the field besides Scarbrand. I don't see a lot of Khornates. That's your only hope. Orion's in here slowly whittling down forces. As long as he doesn't get bursted, he'll be fine, because he has that Cloak of Isha, that whenever he gets too low, he starts healing himself up. Yeah. Ikit didn't bring Flensing either, because it's a for fun event. Queen Bess almost shut down by the Lion Chariots, though she's out of ammo anyway. Man-Eaters are great weapons, and no, those are just Iron Guts. Anyway, they're all getting hit with the Hawk's Talon. Good little poke damage as Gorge also tries to come in, but Ikit's still alive, so the Skaven aren't even low leadership just yet. Mounted Yeoman Archer's getting taken out. Scarbrand's chasing around a bunch of stuff. The Blood of your Depth Guard plus the Gallows Giant are still very healthy, considering how far in the game we are. Henry's trying to land on Ikit and take him out. 1200 HP for that guy. Henry needs like 3 more shots to kill him, but 1 more to rout him, as Tic-Tac-Toe tries to join in as well. Orion, unbreakable, and healing up slowly, fighting back against Gorge and the boys. He's trying, dude. No one's helping him. Takes a big chunk from Gorge. And the King of the Wild Hunt is probably the King of being dead. Or is he? Or is he? Or fucking is he? Orion! Go, Ryan, go! Kick their ass! He is kind of kicking their ass. Tic-Tac-Toe or somebody needs to bail him out with something. The forces of good are just too far pushed back on all fronts, though. The balance of power is going to Army Loss's territory, and even if Orion holds, I don't think it'll matter. Gallows Giant trying to poke the Lion Chariots, but honestly it just hits the Man-Eaters more instead. Tic-Tac-Toe has a real problem with Ikit existing, does manage to rout him. And Orion has more HP than we last checked in on him with. Army losses does take away the forces of good, leaving Orion all alone. Though from his perspective, nothing has changed all battle. He's like, I've been alone the whole game. No one has helped me out. As he continues to kick so much ass. And he finally dies. Okay. Please recast around 3 minutes the front line got shot. Fine, but I don't want to cover I'm not gonna go through your values as intensely. Then you can't just keep telling me to go do everything. There's a million things going on. Celestra got a lot of value. The crabs got a lot of value. Depth guard got amazing value. Alrighty. Exalted Bloodletters did great. Scarbrand did really great. Regular Bloodletters did pretty well. And Marauders did fine. Percute in the Skaven. Gorge, 3,000 value. Nice job, Gorge. Nice job. Mortars honestly did less than I would have thought, considering how clustered up the front lines were. Giselles also did not do a lot, considering how much they got to shoot until Wood Elves came clamoring in. Lamb Sauce's Man-Eaters and his Firebelly did great. Iron Guts did fine. Lead Belcher shut down. It does appear that shooting is not very good in a 4v4 because it is too hard to keep them alive. Most of them aren't going to pay for themselves. Cav of the Wood Elves did very well overall. Stormrunner. His Grail Guardians did okay. Rapunzel did okay. His Flying Knights all got murdered, though. Trebs got murdered. Mounted Yeoman Archers didn't do too much. And then Raced. Horned Ones did okay. His Flying Cav and Cav did okay. Skinks. Just tail Celestra, you'll see all the hype. I don't know which of you to take seriously. Olaf's talking about a big flame storm. Patrick's talking about the front line at 3 minutes. Mr. Teufel also seems to be talking the front line. I'll go look for this one thing, and we'll call it. But the forces of evil do prevail. I love how games... What was game 2? All the games were pretty close. Game 1 was actually insane. Game 1 was the most insane thing I've seen in my entire life. I still can't believe that that happened. Oh, my computer loves this fast forwarding with so much shit going on. I love how we're hardly even fast forwarding because my computer thinks so hard about what's happening. Alright, so around the 2-minute mark, you say just watch the front line. Okay. Which front line? Like over here? Or back here? Oh, she has Vangeists. You're gonna Vangeist down this line, aren't you? Yeah, there it is. Gotcha. There they all go. That's a good Vangeist. That's a good Vangeist. And they all just break and shatter. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Anyway. Wait, where is Orion? I want to see when Orion got into the fight and then just got, like, abandoned. So Orion's back here right now. Wow, he made his way across the whole map. But, yeah. It was a GG. God damn! Oh, boy. 545 kills from a single cast. That's pretty good. That one cast won them game. Probably. Alright. That's what we got for today. The 4v4 best of 3. Game 1 was so good. It was so good. That shit was awesome. Because I I thought the good guys were done. Like, halfway through the game, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I hope they surrender and they don't drag this out. And they end up fucking winning. Jesus. Spoilers, if you got to game 3 and didn't know how game 1 went. Epic Clash, if you're super... Wait, well, I missed it now. It's all gone. I gotta find somebody for you people to raid. Alright. Warhammer 3. Who is streaming right now? Is Ash streaming? Can I raid Ash for once instead of raid... She's just raiding me all the time? No. 1 week from today, I will be doing a 1v1 head-to-head campaign with Radiant Ash. I think I've tried to raid Mercy before, Mercy the Mad, but he usually doesn't have his raiding turned on. Yeah, he doesn't have his raiding turned on, so I can't raid him. RIP. I guess I'll raid this Lazy Grouse guy. Sure. Everyone go say hi to Lazy Grouse. Also doesn't have his live streaming turned on. What the fuck? Why don't people want raids? Though, if Radiant Ash hadn't told me how to do it, maybe. That guy's there. It's... For once... Okay, for once people are playing Total War Warhammer 3. And I can't find anyone to raid. What is this? You know what? I'll raid this guy. There we go. He has his raids turned on. Cool. We got that set up. Anything last to say before I leave forever? Oh, I don't know. I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks to Lucy for hosting this event yet again. What do we have? This weekend, I don't know if I have any streams planned. Yes, I do. Faction War between NC and RTK, and then it's Mother's Day, so I don't know what I'll be doing stream-wise for those. Next week, Wednesday, I have the Radiant Dash 1v1 head-to-head campaign. And then the Warpstone Cup World Championship Tournament starts. You gotta do an impromptu turkey. Fudge.